The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right. Good afternoon, traders. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the middle of the week. I mean, look at how far we're into 2023 already. Crazy. Tardy. I'm tired. Randall, you must not know. It starts when I'm here. That's the starting time. Everything in front of that is preparation to make sure it's fantastic. Good afternoon, Phil. Good to see you. Wonderful Wednesday, Dennis. Hello to you, Randall. Hello, LK. Welcome out to the Tradespoon live trading room, stocks and options closing bell. I am Scott. I will be your host. This is me. I need to update my slides, but plenty of trading experience, plenty of teaching experience. These are disclosures. Be careful. It's risky. Have a plan. Make sure that plan hinges on risk management. And everything should be fine. Okay. Let's dive into it. So, the markets are bullish today. BlackRock cutting 500 workers. That's only a 3% cut. It's not bad. We know financials has actually been. We're going to do a little sector rotation today to see where things stand. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at that. S&P is up 1%, Dow 0.6, NASDAQ 1.3, Russell 0.83. Oil continues to show volatility, up 3.25%. Gold slightly up, silver slightly down. That's what we have. I am very sorry to hear it, Ricardo. You have my sincerest condolences. It's great to have you back. I hope all is well outside of that. Flights resuming gradually following FAA system outage. FTX finds $5 billion in liquid assets. Don't you love when that happens? When you just find $5 billion just in liquid assets sitting around? Everyone likes that. Who doesn't like that? We do have inflationary data coming. Not much by way of news, right? Get out of these distorted markets. Issues a dire warning to stocks and bonds. I guess you could go to cash. It's paying more in interest. That's about it. Let's take a look at the economic calendar. What have we had going on already? Inflationary expectations are actually lower on the 1 year, 5 versus 5.2, slightly higher on the 5 year, 2.4 versus 2.3. That wasn't bad at all. Small business index, a little bit lower than expected, not great. Inventories as expected, and nothing scheduled for today. Tomorrow, however, we have CPI numbers, so that's the inflationary data, right? And that's a favorite of Jerome Powell. We have some Fed speak going on, Philly, St. Louis, Richmond, but mainly tomorrow morning's consumer price indice data year over year, 3 months. I mean, everything that's coming out by way of that data. Jobless claims, there's nothing there yet. The job market, the labor market is staying strong. Any strength the stock market has will definitely be boosted by that labor market strength. Okay, and then Friday, a little too far. Friday, we have some sentiment and some consumer inflation expectations. All right. Let's go look at how the model sees it, looking at our broad market indices. Here is the SPY. I got to say, I like the way this looks. We had been sitting in a basing pattern. Let me get my drawing tool ready to go. I'm going to go with a nice wintry light blue today. And we had this basing pattern here, just kind of meandering. We broke out of it to the upside. Now, the model was calling for a bit of a pullback, but we're actually up here today. But I would still say that this certainly could present that opportunity, followed by the kick, and we could see this kick even get higher still. Yeah, okay. We definitely broke the bullish side of the base. Now, if and when the buyers take a break and the sellers come in, if it creates a higher low, that is absolutely confirmation. So I would say that even though this is marked as neutral, I would actually give it more of a slightly bullish perspective from my opinion. QQQ is actually bullish. It's just saying things are going to run. Is it going to go straight without a consolidation? I find that to be unlikely. I would consider this to be maybe where it could be sideways and then up. It could pull back and then up, but certainly the projection is for bullishness right now. Let's look at the IWM. Randall, I saw your question. I'm gonna get to that. Let me finish this. Russell shares looks quite similar to actually kind of a hybrid, because it is demonstrating a bit of a consolidation followed by a bullish kick And if we go to the Dow, the DIA, come on now. Oh, sorry. DIA, not DYA. That's my bad. That will help. And similar to the SPY, small pullback, small consolidation, bullish kick. There you go. Here's a question that came in from Randall. COVID impacted the world. Energy prices fell. Russia started a war. Most of the other world reopened. Energy prices increased. Energy. We released oil from strategic reserve. Energy prices fell. China changed their COVID policy. It's reopening. The Biden admin will cease releasing oil from the strategic petroleum reserve. I do not think the Fed will tank the global economy by raising rates more than 5.5. Global demand for energy will increase. Energy prices will rise. How do I trade this? You've got oil stocks, individual oil stocks. You've got ETFs. XLE is the energy ETF. That's probably the easiest way, and they all are optionable. So I would say what you would want to do, and this is very similar to what we would do even with sector rotation, right? You keep an eye on the sector. You create a watch list of the strongest stocks or opportunities out of that sector. Put it on a watch list and keep an eye on it, right? So on our watch list now, ConocoPhillips is on there. DBC is the commodity index is on there. That's a little bit weighted into natural gas, though. We have UNG, so natural gas is on our list. We have XLK, so that's XLE. So that's what I would say is to create a basket of energy related stocks, whether they're individual or ETFs. Make sure they have good liquidity if you're going to trade options. I mean, I think good liquidity either way. And there you go. And we're going to talk a little bit about sector rotation, so we'll get into that a little bit as well. Then once you have that list, you can look at that list with your daily charts, with your Tradespoon predictions, and then see where that puts you. Seasonally, what are we thinking the seasonal chart brings? Well, you can actually see that so far it is in line. We normally expect to see a little bit of a pop up in this time, which is exactly what we've seen. Then what? Then we tend to have a bit of a consolidation. It could be a little consolidation, could be a little bit more. And then we tend to have just a little bit of a rock and pop. February has a tendency to be a nice little bullish bounce, a little bit of sideways, and then more bullishness in March and April. That is a 25-year cyclical representation. So yeah, I'm interested. I'm thinking about it, most definitely. Okay. Here's today's heat map. Pretty bullish overall. You can see this consumer discretionary quite strong. Technology doing pretty well other than Salesforce. Financials doing pretty strong other than Charles Schwab. Real estate's very strong today. Oil is mixed. Consumer defensive is mixed. Utilities still stayed pretty bullish. Industrials was okay, right? It was okay. Good afternoon, Bob. Good to see you. Most definitely. Okay. What time is it? 1:18. Let's do a quiz. We'll look at the VIX, and then we're going to jump in, do sector rotation prior to the watch list so we can get a sense of that. Okay. There we go. So here's SPY. You can kind of see there's this basing that we talked about. This is where we broke out of it with a good amount of volume coming on that breakout day. And we've moved up a little higher still. I kind of thought we might run into some issues through here. Let me see if I can get this line straighter. And we're right around that level now. So if we fluctuate a little bit around this for a couple of days and then have a mild pullback, certainly that, right, and this comes down a little bit, that higher low, that's the confirmation I need that says the buyers have come back in, right? Okay. Sorry. If the CPI is low tomorrow, it will blast right through. I agree. If there's a positive surprise at all, it could definitely get through. I would say the upper end of this range, I don't know if we have what it takes to get up to that higher point, but I would say certainly this is feasible in here. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. So here is today's chart. Let's get a quiz. Oh yeah, bullish all through the afternoon. Okay, I'm gonna go A, B, C. 394.50, 393.65. Give me your thoughts. Where are we gonna be? Okay. Dennis is an A, Bob is an A, John is a B, Ricardo is an A, Tom is an A, Kent is a C, Randall is an A, Jacques is an A. Yeah, I gotta say, I think I'm gonna join. Renata is a C, mostly A's and C's, but I think I'm gonna go B. I think we may see this thing make an attempt to go a little bit higher and then drop back in and settle into this end of day upper range. All right. Oh, Stella, let's ask. Good idea. Good idea. Let's go back in. SPY. Let's get a intraday. And Stella says at 2 o'clock, 395.16. 395.16. What did we have it at? Sorry, let me get back in. Oh, yeah, Stella's an A. Stella says it's going to keep on going higher. All right. Taking off hedges. Yes, possibly. Let's talk about the VIX. Let me get this back. Yeah, you can see it's kind of an interesting little big red, inside day white, big red, inside day white, big red, inside day white. This is the most interesting one to me as of right now. Actually, I'm gonna backtrack that, and I'm gonna say no, not yet with the hedges. And the reason I say that is because we did have this low here. We went up, pulled back, and then turned. This is lower than the price. Yeah, this is a tough one. This is a tough read right now coming from the VIX. This is clearly a level that's important. I might give it one more day just to make sure. I don't love the fact that today's VIX is up 2%, even though the market is down. I'm sorry, even though the market is up 1%. So there's price action moving higher, but the institutions are just sort of hanging on, right? What I would want to see is if we do pop up a little bit more, or have like stability, that lower high, that's the confirmation I'm looking for. I don't really feel like we got a lower high to remove the hedges yet. So I'm going to give it one more day. I'm going to give it one more day, and we'll see where it ends up. Okay, real quickly, let's go through sector rotation. And Randall mentioned energy. You can see over the 200-day, which is about 9 months, energy is the leader, right? And it's got the most volatility by a far stretch. The next three are very defensive sectors. You can see we've got staples, we've got healthcare, we've got utilities. And then behind that, industrials. Well, industrials is more of a growth element, so that one looks okay. Down below, you can see discretionary, communication services, and technology are lagging. 200 trading days. So you can see this takes us back to about March. When we go to 133, that's about 6 months-ish. What do we have? Energy still on top. Industrials. Financials. That's the interesting one. That's the one we mentioned a week or two ago where we said, you know what, there could be some strength coming back into the financials. Here is healthcare. Here is staples. And then you can see our three primary growth sectors, technology and discretionary and communication services, still lagging behind. Let's go to 66. 66. And you can see we've got industrials now at the top, followed by materials. We've got financials up in the mix. We've got staples up there, utilities, and then you can see we again lagging behind. Industrials and financials are definitely more bullish. Staples a little bit more defensive. So if we see continued shifting into financials and industrials as the drivers, well, I'll tell you, we certainly, for a sustained bull market, we certainly need technology to participate, without a doubt. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, and let's drop on down to 22 days. In 22 days, what do we see? Energy leading, communication services making a push, financials making a push, industrials are still up there, utilities are still up there. I don't know. I'm not convinced enough about technology and state and discretionary yet. I would need one more cycle before that. But I would definitely say financials and industrials are still in play. Healthcare still in play. Utilities and staples are starting to ease a little bit more. So, all right, let's get to the watch list and just kind of see as we go through each of these individually what they're going to do. All right. All right. What do we have cracking here? Let me get to the top of my list. Look at Alcoa, man. We didn't, I didn't see this coming. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know if there was news or if that's anything behind that, but woo-wee, that was something right there. Certainly helping the materials section to look a little better. Here's Apple. Now, what would it take for me to like Apple and want to trade it? At this point, I would say that this does seem to be the consolidation. You'll notice that it really connects well if you're willing to just kind of pop that out of the perspective. We have gotten through it. So there's our low. We have broken through it, and we got up here. So the buyers did a little. There was no volume around it. So that's a concern. But if this thing comes down and makes a higher low, I would still be okay looking to trade into that. Right? I would still be okay with that. Okay. Microsoft. We'll get to Microsoft for sure. Yeah, we'll definitely take a look at Microsoft. ADI. The chips have been a little bit underwhelming, but same kind of a thing. What have we seen? It seems to maybe have broken this high to possibly establish a small double bottom. High or low? That's what I need. I'm not trading off the bottom, and I'm not trading the breakout. My thought process here is I need to see a higher low. If I see that, then I will be ready to start thinking about some trades. Archer Daniels is not showing that at all, right? In fact, you can see that this thing busted down hard, new lower low. I don't know. Staples has lost a little bit of shine, and I think this thing could set up a bearish trade potentially. If you were so inclined we have a lower low. So what would be the confirmed trigger to enter something like that? A lower high. But certainly no interest in trading bullishly there. AMD, it's similar to what we saw in ADI. I'm not a big fan, to be honest with you. I know AMD tends to be a more well-known name, but not interested. Amazon. Okay, now you're talking, right? Amazon, it was just consolidating. And then finally we got the bust. Little bit of volume. Even today will be above average, it seems. I'm not trading the breakout. Like I said, that's not my trade. I'm thinking when this thing stabilizes and then the sellers take a little profit and then I get something like this, that's my trade. That's what lets me know, okay, look, this large retailer is starting to look better. Higher low, right? I don't want to buy it now when it's overbought. I want to wait for it to pull back. Give me something like this. I'm looking to be patient with this thing. Wait for the consolidation. Get yourself a better reward to risk ratio. AXP. I like AXP. It's that simple. I think I ended up liking MasterCard better, even as much as like 2 weeks ago. I started liking to see what MasterCard. When AXP had this drop, Visa and MasterCard didn't. Let me jump over there. Yeah, you can kind of see that, right? You can kind of see MasterCard and Visa have a better look to them. Problem is, you need your entry, you need your trigger. Boeing, I still look at that as in its consolidation. So I want to see how low does it come down? Does it get back just to 200? Does it get all the way back down here to 195? How much does this come down? There should be time to trade this again. So yeah, Boeing gave a nice trade back here. Nice move up. Now what's it doing? Consolidating again, like it did here. So we're waiting for the consolidation to end before we look to move forward. But I would definitely say Baba is a good one. Or not Baba, Boeing. Baba's next. Yeah. The Chinese stocks, that what Randall was talking about with their re-emerging plan for China to reopen is certainly had a positive impact. I've been a little reluctant. There's just a lot of volatility around. And in here, it just took too long for this to kind of figure out what it was doing. Even if you had taken this initial trade, I don't know, that would have been a hard one to sit through. And then you catch that. If you did, good on you. If you caught it, good on you. Caterpillar still needs to consolidate. I think Boeing is my favorite out of that group right now. Here's ConocoPhillips. So you're really not seeing much out of the oil. But it has started to move a little bit. Costco, I agree. The problem with Costco, it got whatever, was it news? It definitely broke out of its consolidation. And now it's just kind of sitting here in an overbought position. I think that I want this. Give me a pullback. You can see the same kind of a thing happen here. It busted up a little bit higher, but not much. That's the trade you want here. Gave you this, and it gave you this. Two good trades coming out of that. Not a lot of potential there. I think you could see even more. If you look back here, there was one there, one there, one there. Once we can get through that break of the consolidation, higher high, higher low, certainly there's a lot more prospects for it. Yeah, it's just about being a little bit patient now for this. DBC, I like oil better. I don't like the contribution of natural gas to that. Deere, minimal. I still like Boeing the best of the group. Here's Disney. Okay. So Disney was consolidating here, and then it sort of accelerated into its consolidation. We busted out of it. Not a lot of volume, but it didn't need it. That's why I say I don't need volume if price is there, but I do need to see the other side of the cycle breakout followed by lower, higher low. It's very similar to probably what was back here. And then it gives you another trade here and even possibly another trade through here. And that's what we're trying to catch. When do we think that's going to come? When we finish consolidating and price is starting to show, right? Remember, what do you see? I see prices moving higher. Buyers have regained control. I need to see confirmation of that by the sellers showing less, and then we can go from there. Feel free to throw symbols at me as we go if you would like. Okay. FCX, very strong. Very strong. This was one that we talked about with Vlad. We talked about this one last week coming through here. This was the opportunity on this up, down, turn. That was the opportunity right there. At this point, it's a little overbought. I think there's still time. If this consolidates back down, I think there's time for one more move. So if you're not in it, keep an eye on it. Look for the retracement, and then go from there. Okay. FedEx. I like FedEx. FedEx gave a nice signal right through here. But as of now, it's overextended. You've got to wait for the consolidation. FXI looks very much like Baba. GLD. Gold's been surprising. Goldman Sachs, surprising. There you go. Right now, the problem is you're running into earnings soon. So you don't have a lot of opportunity to trade in front of earnings. You just have to decide, am I going to trade through earnings or not? GlaxoSmithKline, not much there. I don't like the way this is moving. I'm deleting this one. You're off the island. IWM. IWM could be a maybe. It's recovered after its precipitous drop. If it can give me a higher low and give me time to trade it prior to earnings, I'd still think about it. IWM looks good. The small caps look good. Jets looks amazing. Where did that come from? That thing just busted out and is running. Eli Lilly. Did we go over FXI? Yes, it's very bullish, but overextended. There's another look. I got to wait for a consolidation. I can't chase into it. Eli Lilly, same thing. I don't love the way the pharmaceuticals look pretty strong. Healthcare was looking pretty strong. I'm going to say no for me. MasterCard looks good, but it needs to consolidate if you're not already in it. Meta, yes. It's slow, but it's still uptrending. Right? Slow, but still uptrending. Merck. Now, Merck, I could still maybe sink my teeth into. Let's keep an eye on this. This could be in the next day or two. So we'll keep an eye on that. Marvell, I don't think so. But Microsoft, I don't know. See, Microsoft's coming off of a lower low, lower high. Microsoft hasn't done nearly enough, in my opinion, as of now. Not nearly enough. Okay. Okay. Hello, Raymond. Good to see you. Netflix looks good. Needs a consolidation. Be careful of earnings. Remember that we have earnings. We didn't talk about that, but we should. Earnings season starts basically next week. So you definitely want to be aware of the different things that you're trading into. NVIDIA. I like NVIDIA. That's probably the one I'm looking to see at this point. If NVIDIA consolidates back down and only drops to like 148, 150, any higher low from here, I feel like that's one I would look to trade. What's next? Oracle. Oracle's been strong. It's definitely a leader. I would definitely be looking for something to develop there. QQQ. You can see that there's some strength showing up, right? Starbucks has started to consolidate. Oh, give me just a little bit more. If this just eases down and then gives a nice turn, I would say, I mean, where it is, I would say probably maybe not filling the gap, maybe 102.5. If it just sort of comes back down a little bit. Like I said, today's an interesting day because, and we'll see it here in a minute again, silver looks pretty strong. Semiconductors, SMH is not a bad option either. I would say that for semiconductors, I'm leaning towards NVIDIA and SMH. Way more so than any of the others that we've been looking at here. SPY, Toll Brothers, strong but overbought. The signal was back here, right in here, I would say. That day, popping out, and then it's made a nice move from there. Tesla, it's not enough yet. It's not enough yet. I guess maybe if it made a higher low, but it's really going to be that's a questionable one. I don't think it's got what it needs to make any kind of move from here yet. Maybe it's starting to try, right? Maybe. Natural gas is just keeps, I mean, this is the thing, right? Like you would think, that it's got to come down, but does it? Or I mean, it's got to go back up, but it just keeps meandering down. I mean, at this point, let me go to a year on this chart. Yeah, we traded it quite a bit back when that whole Russia thing first started going. We took some of these trades, and you can see we're back lower than it was prior to the conflict. Crazy. I don't know. What's the explanation? What is the explanation? Visa. I like Visa and MasterCard. I like MasterCard a little better, but I need whichever one it is to consolidate first. The VIX is up 3.2%. 3.2, and you can see that it has surged here in the last hour. Natural gas is down because of low demand. Blame it on the weather. Is it light in Europe? I mean, Europe tends to drive that. Is it an easy winter in Europe? That's probably it then. I would have to agree. Did they fix the blown up pipe in the ocean yet? I don't know. That's a great question as well. Yeah, I don't love the VIX. Let me go back to the SPY. Where are we now? 394.90. So where do we say it has to get? 394.50. So it did pull back into the B range temporarily. Now it's bounced itself out of there again. Still some time. We'll see what this thing ends up doing. XLF financials is looking better. I like XLF as a representation. Raymond, let me show you XLE for energy. So you can see there's just not a lot to it right now. Could it start to show some prospects again? Of course. As of now, we haven't seen it. XLI, industrial still looks okay. XLP, see, I don't know. The staples is really I think that the staples in October, November was pretty strong, but now we're seeing a shift away from that. We're seeing a shift away from that, so I guess we'll see where that ends up. Where that ends up going. Okay, now we do have a butterfly. Here is the butterfly. So you can see the butterfly is a little underwater. We're out here still a little bit. But it's not enough yet. If it gets up here to about 396.5 to 397, then I would look to add something out over in this situation. So for anyone, Vlad has an iron condor on. That's kind of his neutral trade. If it gets over here, I can come in and do like, I don't know, maybe even like a 410 calendar spread. And you might think, how does a calendar spread connect? Let me see if I can even show you. February 17th. Let's go calendar. And of course, I wouldn't do it now. 410. Let's go one extra week. Nope. Feb 17, Feb 20. Ooh, I'm a little far out, actually. Maybe I would go. Hmm. 24. Let's dial this back. I don't love the way that looks. Hopefully the volatility comes down a little bit lower. Otherwise, I might even consider replicating a second one of these. 395 by 410 by 415. Why is that broken winged? Something looks off. 375, 385, 400. Oh, sorry, 425. Sorry. Something along these lines, which would put me in the range along here, something like that, where I'm anywhere from 380 to 415. I've got a pretty good range. We'll see. I think for now, We're just going to kind of watch it and see, right? We don't have enough information as of now to close anything or to put anything else on. We're still kind of watching to see, does the market start to shift one way or the other, and what does it end up shifting into? So let's go back. A's are winning. Oh, A's. Oh, A's. You all think you're very smart. I get it. Sure enough. I mean, it looks like we're back at the highs for the day, right? Indeed we are. So what's the VIX doing? Is the VIX showing us anything? I mean, the VIX is like, it's crazy, right? VIX is up 3%. Even though the market's up 1.25. I don't like it. It has me wondering if we're setting up for one last consolidation. That next consolidation would be where we would really have the ability to, get some trades on. So yeah, let's hope for that. That's what we're hoping for by Friday, especially if we can see, even if we see some setup coming by Friday, we'll talk about putting some trades on then. Leaning in a little bit more to the bullish side. For now, what? It is showing signs of more bullish than anything else. So don't fight the market, right? Don't fight the market, and let's have some ideas at hand, ready to go, and we'll see what develops for us by the end of the week. All right, A's, you got it. You won your gold medal. Shiny first. No, last week was the second gold medal of the year. It's magnificent. The 2023 medals are really nice. I like them a lot. Yeah. I will be back Friday morning. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of days. Actually, I guess there's one day in between, and then we're talking again. But the prospects are there. The bullishness seems to be coming back in. Don't let the doom and gloomers impact you too much. Follow the price and follow the money, and you'll be fine. So, all right. Well, it's good to see everybody. You know, I love having afternoon coffee with you almost as much as I love having morning coffee with you. So please make sure to join me on Friday, and we will see what this market has to offer. Have a great rest of your day. See you Friday. As always, happy trading.